being a mom-age woman.
Anyway, I'm Gino.
And I'm Toby. And today we are going to be reviewing Violent Night.
We're very excited. Non-spoilers, and I think non-spoilers for this movie is very important because I think 3 or 4 people have seen this movie so far.
More
I think
people.
we're about half the people that have seen this movie so far. So I really want to let you all know you should go see this movie. It's real good. I guess I kind of had like relatively high expectations because it's getting decent reviews.
Because we did look up Rotten Tomatoes. I don't remember why.
Because I always look at Rotten Tomatoes.
Because he was curious, I guess.
So I'm going to go pay $15 for a ticket.
Oh, that's true.
I'm checking Rotten Tomatoes.
I forgot that you won't see bad, scary movies with me.
Right, I'm not doing that. So like I didn't have like high expectations, but I had like expectations that it was going to be good. But it's way better than I thought it was.
Right, and I saw the trailer.
And I didn't watch the trailer at all.
Right, so I saw the trailer. Oh, because I saw a scary movie recently.
What movie did I saw it in theaters. I don't know, something dumb that I didn't want to watch. That you didn't review on the podcast.
No. I don't remember what I saw.
Wow, what a great movie you must have seen that really left an impression on you.
That's fine. It's
anyway,
questions. No. Let me talk about the trailer.
Okay,
So the trailer was basically like, you know that he's really Santa, and you know that he is at somebody's house and he ends up murdering a bunch of people.
I was just going to tell everybody to not watch the trailer before you go watch this. And then Toby just explained the trailer to you.
Because there's 2 different types of people. Because I saw the trailer and got excited, whereas Gino didn't see the trailer and thinks that he was more excited.
I think it's better if you don't know anything about the movie. So we already messed up.
No, we appreciate
Go back in time.
No.
Forget what we just said and then go watch the movie and then come back and listen to our review.
Or,
because it's real good.
If you prefer my way of doing things, watch the trailer and then go see the movie.
Or just watch the trailer and come listen to us. I think we're going to do a pretty good job.
Right? Well, are we doing a non-spoiler review?
Yeah, non-spoiler. That was it.
Because it's based on the trailer.
Yeah, go watch it.
Okay.
It's good. I would say, I guess this is the best non-spoiler thing I can say. And this might be controversial. I think it is the best Christmas movie since Elf.
I will definitely want to watch it again.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other Christmas movies have been good that have come out since Elf.
Since then?
You can't even think of one. But I'll be thinking about this movie a lot.
Those were crickets.
Right. Meet the Fockers 3.
LOL.
Christmas with the Cranks 2. Can't think of one. Something with Tim Allen probably, where he complains about like the war on Christmas or something.
There's definitely nothing that I wanted to watch again.
Talk about a war on Christmas with this movie. I mean, we're getting into spoilers. But so it's real good, definitely for better. Toby and I left the theater like ecstatic with how great it was.
Oh my God.
Just go watch it. No one's watching it. You'll be in the theater by yourself. It's great.
Oh my God, yeah. We were in the theater with like, I don't know, 10 other people.
Yeah, it was a Friday night too. So like this movie needs support. Go give David Harbour your love. Go. It's good. It's not a Marvel movie and like a Star Wars.
Right.
It's like something else.
Go see it.
Go support movies that aren't just made by Disney. Go. All right. For better. What do you give it?
Also for better.
Okay, cool. Spoilers. All right, so here's the spoilers. I hope you went and saw it because this is where we're spoiling it. So you better have left and come back. Millie's here. She's making sure you went and saw it.
Right. She's checking. She's checking her list.
She's checking her list. No, she's making her list, checking it twice.
God, I hope we do better.
Okay, so I try to come up with the best way I'm going to explain this movie to other human beings that I know in real life. So here's the best way I can explain it, Toby. Please tell me if you disagree with the way I'm going to explain what this movie is. This movie is a mix of John Wick, Die Hard, Home Alone, Knives Out, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
The Santa Claus. And also Santa Claus.
Santa Claus Coming to Town is the one where they tell you his backstory.
And I'm also telling you it's also...
and the Santa Claus?
And I think it's also the Santa Claus.
Because Tim Allen in the War on Christmas that he complains about a lot?
No, because there's Santa and he's like actually Santa.
He's like actually Santa. Yeah, so Santa is real. So I guess not seeing the trailer, I thought this movie was about like a guy who dresses up as Santa and is like a bad guy and like it was a scary movie. I didn't realize like, oh, he's the real Santa.
Right, which I came in knowing.
Yeah, so like that's why I think to me this movie was just like awesome thing after awesome thing after awesome thing. And what I also want to say about this movie is that this movie had the balls, the cojones, the balls to be the adult Christmas movie that Spirited on Apple TV Plus did not have the balls to be. This is what I kept talking about, where the Apple TV Plus thing seems like a neutered, like an adult Christmas movie that was neutered down to like PG-11. This movie was like balls to the wall, hyper violent, bloody, pretty funny.
No, very funny. And
then
funny
still-
funny in a grown-up way.
Right, no, not stupid funny, like actual fun. That's why I say it's like Knives Out. Arrested Development's kind of in there a little bit. There's all that like rich family drama.
Yeah.
So if you like those things, there's that in there too. And then on top of all of that, all this like one of the better action movies I've seen in a while, there's like this extremely heartwarming Christmas movie about Santa rediscovering his love of children and like this girl like rediscovering like Santa Claus and the magic of Christmas.
Right. It like really hits you in so many different places. Like the amount of feelings we had leaving the theater were just, they were like pouring out of us.
Yeah, I had a really hard time trying to figure out, and I said this in the review, I don't know why I keep picking on Spirited, because it just makes me so mad.
Because Spirited could have been better.
Bad. I was having a hard time figuring out like who that movie was for. It wasn't for children, it wasn't for adults. This movie is very easy to figure out who it's for. This movie is for me. This movie was made for me specifically.
Literally in the writer's
I love
room.
action comedies.
Yeah, they were like, where's Gino?
I love Christmas. I love David Harbour. I love like the bad like that bad guy who's in the room with all the rich people and he's like kind of like a
John
sociopath.
Leguizamo?
No,
the little elf man?
The
Yeah.
little elf man who was like just making fun of them the whole time.
Oh, let me find his name.
John Leguizamo is awesome in this. This is the best John Leguizamo movie since freaking Super Mario Brothers.
Well, okay. So I'm going to talk for a little bit. Because
No.
Gino will take this over because he loved it so much. So, yes, it was all the different feelings. And like, people talk about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. Like, this is a Christmas movie.
Right. This is,
This is a Christmas movie that has crazy, like, Die Hard, yes, John Wick elements. Oh, hello.
If there was like a spectrum of like movie that takes place during Christmas,
yes,
and Christmas movie, this is on the very far side of this is a Christmas. I mean, the real Santa Claus.
The real
is in
Santa is in it. And like they do such an amazing job with him being Santa. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be bopping around notes. We're supposed
Bop
to be
as much as you want.
We're supposed to be more
You
organized.
can tell we really like a movie when we're very disheveled and unorganized in our approach. But
It's
like,
true.
it's just good.
Well, because we
just liked it.
both want to talk about it the most.
I know. Honestly, we should have recorded in the car on the way home.
Right. Okay, so we're not gonna
that's
bop
everything I
around.
wrote down. So we already go into your notes because you did your notes first. You start out with David Harbour. David Harbour is my Santa Claus. I added in parentheses, daddy, because I'm assuming that's what you really wanted to say.
Yeah, he's my daddy Santa.
He had the ponytail at one point when he started doing the
with his,
violence.
Stop it. He had like a man bun and it was just.
It's like the best. I hate man buns. It was a great man bun.
Let me tell you, like, okay, because I've seen David Harbour in a few movies now. And I mean, like very limited, like Stranger Things and Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like-
the two things that he's in.
Right. And
I guess he's in Hellboy, but I never saw that.
I never saw Hellboy either. And I feel like I've seen him in something else. But he is so attractive in Stranger Things as like fat, lazy sheriff. Or not like lazy, but like fat sheriff.
Fat, like heroic, like lazy sheriff that
Yes.
has to be heroic.
Right.
And that's why you like him so
And
much.
like grumpy. Ugh, he does grumpy.
Yes, he definitely
so
is very
well.
good at grumpy, and that is definitely in this version of Santa Claus
And-
in the beginning.
Yes, and making it like sexy. Like, sorry, everybody.
For all the fat guys out there, I really want to thank David Harbour for making us look a little bit better, just like a tad bit, because he definitely all that weight he lost in the end of Stranger Things,
Right, because
gained that all back, but he's still
Yes.
jacked. So his like. He has like a gut, but his arms are like this big.
right, so like his gut doesn't look.
I don't think it's a
that
fat
big.
suit.
No,
But he
that was
looked like, I guess, Fat Thor, but like a better version of
no
that.
better. He looked
Yeah.
like he was. That's how. Like what he
Like-
would have looked like in like the 11. When was he from?
Yeah, we could talk about. Well, we could talk about his character if you want when we're done talking
I'm
about.
not
David
ready.
Harbour. Okay, so
Because I
keep
still
on
want to
with
talk
it.
about how like sexy.
So yeah,
he
because
is.
he's like they like make it so that he was like a Viking who like became Santa Claus like 11.
right.
100
So like
years
that's
ago.
probably the body he had. Like
Right.
Vikings had.
The
Vikings would have like
peak
six
male
pack.
physique.
Ugh.
No,
so
yeah,
like
big gut, big arms.
right. So like, and I saw him like sexy and fit in Stranger Things, the most recent season, because like he was starved in
Probably
a
hated
prison,
that.
whatever. Oh my gosh, I'm sure he did. And then like in the Black Widow movie, he's like
Also
bigger
fat,
and like, but fun. Like,
He's less fat than that, I guess.
yeah, but like David Harbour does such a good job of like being mean and nice at the same time.
Yeah, and again, we kind of talk about the character of Santa Claus in this because he has his own awesome little arc. So like he starts out in the movie, he's been Santa Claus for like 1,000 years at this point. He's in a bar in London. He's drinking his brains out, and he's like, if I'm still sitting up, I'm not drinking enough.
Right. And he's like in character. Like the bartender lady is like,
he doesn't hide
are
that
you
he's Santa
driving?
Claus.
He's like, well, the reindeer do most of it. Like,
so
exactly.
He's
not hiding
essentially
it.
in the beginning of this movie, he's like fed up with what kids are today. They're very greedy. All they want is like video games and gift cards. You know, like the world. I know. I felt like personally attacked. This was clearly written by someone born in the 90s, I have to guess, or someone born in the late 80s.
I should find out when he was born.
Yeah, and which
he did write for a lot of video games, I think.
Oh, okay, there you go. And like one of my favorite running gags in this movie is that every time he has a magic bag, but he doesn't really have control over it.
A sack for gifts. What do you mean a magic bag? Like it's a surprise. Oh,
I'm explaining the way it works in the movie, Tobes.
Santa's sack is a magic bag.
Fine. So he has his sack, but like this version of Santa Claus kind of discovered the magic, I guess. Doesn't really know how it works. So he just sticks his hand in there and then like the right present comes out. But because every kid asks for video games.
A present. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, every kid asks for video games. Every time he pulls his hand in there, it's just like a video game comes out and he can't do anything with it. So I thought that was funny during the movie. But he's like kind of fed up and grumpy. Movie starts off with him like he goes in the sleigh, he pukes on the lady, which I thought was hilarious.
Right, like he leaves through the roof and then she goes to follow him and she's like, wow, Santa's sleigh is like going away. It's going to be beautiful. And then they tell you what movie this is. Oh, she gets vomited on.
So like the whole movie, he's just kind of grumpy and fed up. He mentions he might not do Christmas like ever again because all the kids kind of suck. And, you know, eventually the movie is about him like, you know, he ends up at this very rich family's house as these terrorists come and try to like steal money from them. And they kidnap the family. And one of the girls in there is on the nice list. So it's like him trying to save this family. And by doing that, he kind of like rediscovers his love and magic of Christmas, yada, 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 yada. So he starts off as like grumpy, like fed up with the world Santa Claus. But then like slowly but surely becomes like, you know, still kind of grumpy, but like he loves Christmas again. He loves kids again.
Right.
He's like looking forward to it.
Yes. He also has like another arc where he like remembers who he was in his past and just like brings out the anger. And,
Yeah.
like,
Oh God.
the murder.
But, yeah. So like,
good.
like what makes this kind of really like Die Hard is that like he's kind of hiding around at first because he doesn't want to fight these guys. And he doesn't know how to use guns, I guess he keeps saying.
He keeps calling them gizmos.
So he doesn't know how to use them. Because I guess he's just like lived in the North Pole for the last 1,000
Right,
years.
and he's Santa, so he comes out like
He doesn't
once
know.
a year.
Yeah.
What does he need?
So he can't use guns. And he's like not magic in the terms of like superpower. He's just as
like he's just
strong
like
because he was a Viking.
Right, so he's a big dude, but he's like still affected by bullets and cuts and things like that.
So like the scene in the movie where he finally decides I'm going to have to fight these people. And he discovers a hammer.
Well, because we
just beats the crap out of everyone. It's awesome.
And we're going to talk about this scene separately.
That's the John Wick scene.
Actually ridiculous. Yeah. But like, it's not. So he kind of reminded me of like if Thor were darker, like not Thor himself,
not darker in like the Man of Steel darker,
right? But like darker as in like bloodier. Like this is what you do with a hammer.
If Thor was R-rated and
right,
like, exactly. If hammers actually worked the way they actually work.
Who's the director that did Suicide Squad?
James Gunn. If James Gunn directed Thor and also was R-rated.
This would be because like obviously Thor hits people with a hammer. There should be a jillion times more blood.
Yeah, of course.
So there's like that much blood because he like talks about it. He's like, oh, and what was the hammer's name? Like all these hammers have names.
He told the girl about like how he's Skull Crusher. Yeah. But he in the movie he just uses like a regular sledgehammer in like in like someone's garage.
Yeah.
So like. I think one of the better, more heartwarming parts of this movie is his character arc of like rediscovering the love of Christmas.
Like what? Why? Whose idea was that? Whose idea was this? Because the movie is so well put together. The fact that they thought through. So the director is Patrick Casey and written by Pat Casey and Josh Miller. And directed by Tommy Wirkolola. I don't know who any of these people are.
Neither do I. I have no idea who any of these people are.
But like the writers did such a good job just like weaving this story together and giving everybody that like mattered importance. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
And I think, like, I mean, this movie could have ended up being like a very, very cynical take on like,
Or stupid. Or
yeah,
just,
right.
like,
It could
so
end up like very
stupid.
dumb or like very cynical because it starts out with like a Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it's like, it's cynical in the beginning, it's a really stupid action movie. It's also a really awesome action movie. But then like gets rid of all that cynicism and like ridiculousness for just this like loving, heartwarming story is what makes this movie like the perfect Christmas movie.
Yes. I think you're right. Because without that heartwarming
It could have been so bad.
this movie would have been terrible.
Yeah, or
But-
if Sandy just like ended as like, I still hate kids and like this sucks. Bleh.
Right, but that, yes.
Like
of
it could have,
course.
this movie could have been so much worse without this character arc. I think it's like such an important
They need,
through
right?
line
Like
in
if
the movie.
Santa was just the same throughout the whole thing.
Like every time you see him like when he sees them through the window and he like wants to leave.
Yeah, and then he sees
sees
a
her through the
little
window
girl.
and she's like a good, so he's like, ugh,
right.
I have to save her.
And like David
that's-
Harbour is so
he sells it
good
so
at
well.
that.
Because that's essentially what he does in Stranger Things. I'm
Exactly.
assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you
If
mean?
I don't remember.
You
I don't
watched
remember.
it.
I know. I don't remember.
Right. He
He sells it so well.
Ugh, he does such a
genuine.
good
You
job.
know that deep down in that drunk Santa Claus's heart, he still loves kids. He's doing it to help the kids. He even though he doesn't understand how the magic works or why he does it,
Which is so
he's doing it to help the
good.
kids. Yeah, well, they had to depower Santa Claus. If he had like his real powers.
No, but like it's so good that Santa like didn't understand. He just kept pointing
He's like,
out. He's
I don't know how it
I don't know
works."
how it works.
Yeah,
Like,
which is like kind of cute.
it's cute. It's also like what a good way. Like magic. Like it's just magic.
It's just Christmas magic. Yeah, he like dies. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. He dies at the end and he comes back to life. He's like, nah, Christmas magic. You
Right.
just believed hard enough.
Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So like, yes, talking about the supporting cast, the rest of the cast. Again, like this movie could have very easily just had like dumb background characters.
Wait, I have a question for
like
you.
Spirited.
Right. Before we get into that. So I knew that there were going to be evil people taking over the house at the Christmas party. So like while the camera was like going around showing all of the crazy elegance and the waiters and the staff, I knew who the shady characters were.
I didn't know.
So you saw all these shady people.
I just thought they were grumpy because they're working on Christmas. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I kind of assumed that like when they got to the rich family's house and Santa showed up there, I kind of assumed like, okay, either they're gonna do like Santa gets fed up with his rich family and like he's the bad guy, which I thought would have kind of sucked. But then once he was like relaxing in the chair and it was kind of goofy, I was like, oh, something's bad is happening to this family and he has to save them.
Right.
And so I kind of figured it out like right before it happened, which is what usually happens.
Right. And they're like pretty clear about that in the trailer. Before we get into this, I just want to talk about how like I appreciated Gino was like, what does this note mean? I'm like, well, let me explain. So I appreciated the way that Santa ended up at the house because like in the trailer, you see the girl getting the walkie-talkie, like, oh, you can talk to Santa. She's like, Santa, help me. We're getting like, we're being attacked. And like, I was like, how are you guys going to put that in the story without it being weird? Like, what does Santa have like
Christmas magic?
Christmas magic? Like, no, because then Santa would have a headache. Everybody would be talking to Santa. So like,
They did that in Bruce Almighty.
right. And then Bruce Almighty got headaches and was and like it ruined him, right? And he's like, I don't know
He's
who to
got a
listen
computer.
to. Oh, right. He got a computer and then got emails. So I really appreciated the fact that like Santa was at the house, like passed out because he's Santa and he was like in a
In the little
massage,
massage chair,
chair,
drunk,
eating the cookies,
stealing
adorable.
their liquor.
Right. And then woke up. She was talking on it, still didn't find it until he found a different radio, was playing around with different radio waves or whatever.
To try to call the police.
To try and call the police. And then it came through. I was like, what a like natural way.
So you're saying this one little small detail in the script
Yes.
makes you appreciate the wider abilities of these writers
Because like
in this script.
they could have done it so unbelievably, like, yeah, Christmas magic. And instead they made it worthwhile where it was like, oh, can she talk to Santa? Like, I know she's going to end up talking to Santa. How does she end up talking to him? This was just something I was thinking about from the
I
trailer.
get what you're saying. I mean, I would say nothing in this movie is like dumb and doesn't make sense. Like everything kind of makes sense. The only thing that's dumb, I think I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't.
Oh,
Because I don't think it's going to be the same.
The only thing you might say in this movie where like characters act kind of dumb is that like some of the bad guys don't just immediately shoot people. They like let them get punched and stuff. Like, just shoot them right now.
Right. I would say, no, the dumbest, most unbelievable thing in the movie is that the son steals $300 million and like nobody knows about it.
Well, he steals it just by like bringing it in the backyard and putting it under
in
the
nativity scene.
Yeah, hilarious.
That's probably the most unbelievable part.
But so like everything in the script kind of makes sense. And you're right. It looks like they went through the script in a fine tooth comb and they're like, all right, well, how does he get the radio and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So
yes.
At no point in the movie you're gonna be like, that's dumb. That's dumb.
I'm sorry. I'm like very impressed with the writing of this because it could have been so stupid.
No one knows who people are. Call them up.
Oh yeah, just my buddy Pat and my buddy Josh.
Yeah, they're whatever. Okay, so yeah, each main character very well fleshed out. Again, it's like the Bluth family from.
Oh my God!
They all are like so. Like the grandma's super
meaner.
rich.
Grandma's meaner.
Grandma, yeah, it's even meaner than her. Super rich, and like the two kids are only there to like try to get the money, all this money, and like there's this whole thing where like the U.S. government gave them $300 million and it was hidden in a vault, and that's why John Leguizamo and his like group of bad guys are coming to steal all the money. I
guess I was kind of wondering like where he came from.
John Leguizamo,
like what the connection was for him. They never explain it.
He just wants money. And then you find out that he like also hates Christmas.
Yes.
Which is just kind of like a side thing, but then that becomes the main part of his character.
But that becomes a funny thing because they all have like Christmas nickname, like their secret name codes are like Krampus and like gingerbread.
So you find out that like he was going to steal some Christmas stuff from like his neighbors and like he like accidentally killed one of their grandpas or something like that.
Right.
And then he hates Christmas because when he was young and his parents had money, he got all the Christmas and all the toys. And then when he was poor, he didn't get any toys.
And Santa didn't come.
And Santa didn't come anymore. But Santa didn't come anymore
because he like killed
because he was on the naughty list.
Right.
So like he was poor and he was on the naughty list, but he just thought it's because he was poor. So like once he starts finding out that there's a guy dressed as Santa Claus there, he like especially hates him because he's like dressed like Santa Claus. And they have like an awesome, ridiculous fight.
So good.
John Leguizamo. Can we talk about John Leguizamo yet?
Yeah, we're talking about the side character.
So John Leguizamo is just like I don't want to say he's like super over the top, but he's like
just enough,
just over the top enough where he fits so well into this dumb, amazing, stupid Christmas movie as a villain. He's just a villain. There's no like, oh, I have sympathy for this guy, aside from like the small little, oh, his poor backstory. And he's like really mean to his staff. He calls them dumb all the time because like two of the people on the staff actually believe it's the real Santa Claus.
Well, we're not wrong. And one of the girls
he makes fun of them all the time.
Right. When one of the woman like keeps saying it, she's like, I think he's Santa Claus.
He's and like, shut up. Yeah.
Then he's got a great line. He's like, I know you're an idiot. Don't be an idiot out loud.
Yeah. Oh, and I love the blonde girl and the British guy, that little stupid Home Alone duo.
Oh my God, so that was awful.
There's like a Home Alone section in this movie because the little girl in the movie had watched Home Alone.
Just watched it.
But
and then screams in the car.
Where like in Home Alone, the booby traps are like, you know, goofy and funny, like cartoon kind of stuff.
There's definitely a bowling ball in it, right?
Yeah, this is like very violent and like she puts nails in the stairs and like she puts like a little patch of nails like on the floor.
Oh my God.
And she like saws one of the steps. So the guy like falls and a nails goes through his face. And then he falls on the other nails. And then she throws like a million bowling balls at them. And it like nails him in the head. I think he dies, right? She kills him.
He dies.
He gets a nail in the head from this girl. Yeah.
Because he's like looking at, and like the whole theater knew you knew what was coming. It wasn't like a mystery.
But you're like, yes.
But I couldn't watch because one of my biggest things is like nails going into things. And so like the fact
nails went to a lot of things.
Nails went through like literally right through his chin, right in his head. Then he falls back on all the nails. And like, he's like, you gotta hide them, little girl. And
yeah, well, because he sees all the nails. He's like, well, you gotta hide them, you stupid. And then like she had sawed a hole in the steps,
in the steps,
and it broke, and he fell into it.
So awful. And then there were like bowling balls, and there was like glue.
At one point she gets stuck in the little girl. Okay, this is why this movie is so amazingly stupid, and I love it. So the little girl puts glue all over the floor, and the Russian blonde lady gets stuck on the glue. And like she has to pull herself up, and her freaking head peels off the back.
Right, like
horribly violent, amazingly violent. Like, oh God. And then she like corners the girl, and she's like flinging things at her with a slingshot, and it's like a tennis ball and like a baseball.
That
and
was funny.
She's
And then
like,
the rule
"That's the
of
best you
threes."
got," and then she hits her with a freaking dumbbell.
That was funny. That's good comedy. Rule of threes.
Yeah, rule of threes.
And then she pulls out a gun, and then we're all kind of scared.
Well, then Santa came and saved her.
And then Santa came and saved her.
I think what I loved about that scene, because like the running joke about Home Alone is that like Kevin McAllister like was trying to kill these people, and they should have died, right?
Several times.
Like the bucket to the like people have done
Right, like they fell.
Mythbusters did an episode about it.
Oh, did they?
So like the bucket would have like cut the guy's head off, and like the door would have melted his hand.
Didn't he like fall off the roof?
Yeah, like so they should. So like that's kind of been like a thing that people have talked about on the internet about Home Alone. So it's so funny that like in this movie, a girl is trying to emulate Home Alone and like kills a guy and like brutally maims another one. Awesome, I loved it. And what makes the scene work is that the two very scary bad guys are still in this scene like bumbling and goofy.
Yes.
It works so well. It sounds bad when I explain it. I'm telling you, it works so well.
It was so good. Like, you can disagree with us on a lot of things. You cannot disagree with us on how good this movie
Yes, it's
was.
very good. I like it a lot. Please go see it. Okay, you wrote here that you really like that the magic is just like a real thing.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Oh, okay. I'm so good at this episode. You feel every emotion. We talked about that. A little heartwarming exchange with the beautiful at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Wait, before we talk about the heartwarming exchange at the end of the movie, that's beautiful.
Okay.
Can we go back to John Leguizamo's fight at the end with
Santa?
And what did he say? What's the really goofy line he says to Santa Claus that was like amazing? He's like, "This year Christmas." Yeah, what did he say?
This year Christmas dies with you.
Yeah, Christmas
or
dies
something.
with you. And I was like, yes.
Honestly, I think they did a lot of good like Christmassy quips in it.
Yeah.
Like it had that
Oh,
ridiculousness.
I got a lot of like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Batman and Robin vibes, where he makes all the ice jokes. There's a lot of that kind of lines in this about Christmas,
which is so fantastic.
Yes.
Like and like one of the things. So like they find out that he's the real Santa, right? The bad guys, and there's this extraction team coming that's supposed to go save the hostages, right?
but
the
they
rich
really
family,
work for John Leguizamo.
right? But like one of the things they say is. The sleigh bells are coming to town, like somebody else on the radio, and the blumbering side people are like, "Uh-oh."
Wait, how good was the scene where the head of the extraction team, who's working with John Leguizamo, as they're opening up the vault, is telling a story about Christmas when he's a kid?
Yeah,
and he's like, "I love Christmas so much that my mom would wrap empty boxes for me just so I can unwrap them because I didn't even care what was in the box. I just love unwrapping empty boxes." And then they open the vault. And it's totally empty.
It's totally empty.
And he's like, "What the hell?
Yes,
this sucks." I was like, "Yay!"
I wanted a bigger or like a better line there,
Like
or like like not today.
No,
like
I got it. I
mean,
understood it.
I got it too.
No, you didn't. I had to explain it to you.
I wanted something better though.
No, I think it was
wasn't
perfect.
No, I disagree. It wasn't a satisfying line.
They should have been like a laugh track, is what you're saying, when they opened the vault?
No, I just needed a better line, like something punchier.
0 out of 10. This movie sucks. Toby doesn't like it. Okay, so the ending of this movie, it's a fight between John Leguizamo and Santa Claus. And the way that Santa Claus wins, so throughout the movie, Santa Claus has the ability he can like twitch his nose and like go up the fireplace.
You're not going to talk
fire.
about how they're fighting with ice picks. And his hammer.
And he like tries to like he tries to like mush John Leguizamo's face into like the snowmobile.
Hang on, it's all so ridiculous and
he's
good.
like spinning his hammer around. Yada yada yada.
Let me just say my thing. The choreography
Go ahead.
was ridiculous. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you finish.
The way he beats John Leguizamo, who stabs him in the heart with his ice pick, is he holds onto John Leguizamo, twitches his nose, travels up the fireplace, dragging John Leguizamo behind him, which snaps John Leguizamo in half. And then he comes out the top, holding half of John Leguizamo's body as a spray fountain of blood sprays over him. And he's saying like, "Ho, ho, ho, ho." That's why this movie is awesome. Please go see this. I know explaining it sounds real bad, but if you didn't watch it yet, go watch it.
No, go watch it.
Oh, and then he gets shot. So even after all that.
Right, which was surprising. So if we're gonna talk about like fighting choreography, because I really appreciate, like, I don't like gory like movies like this, like fighting movies. It's not really my
You've
cup
never
of tea.
watched John. No matter how much I tell you to watch John Wick, you
Because
won't
I'm not going to
watch
watch it by myself.
it. I'm with you. What are you talking about?
Right, but you never suggest it.
Oh, okay. of
So
course.
like, when am I going to watch it?
I have to make all the plans.
Please. So like the extraction team comes, right? You find out they're bad. They see Santa. They have to go find and kill Santa. And honestly, it looks like there's, I don't know, 10 guys on this extraction team.
And yet he kills like
He kills like
40
30.
of them. Yeah.
So,
In
like,
the one scene where he finally decides to
right,
fight them.
I could not stop laughing because it was just dude after dude after dude. And I'm like, how many guys are actually on this team? So that was comical to me.
In John Wick, I don't know if this is something that Keanu Reeves came up with or like the fight choreographer, but they call the fighting in John Wick gun fu because he's fighting like martial arts, but he has his guns on him. This is like hammer fu. So like Santa has a hammer, or it's like Christmas fu because he uses like
he
a
uses
hammer.
candy cane.
Candy cane is like a knife.
Lights and stuff.
Yeah, he uses like the snowblower to like grind a dude up.
Like regular
and the freaking snowblower is like shooting the blood out.
It was just like
the one guy pulls out a grenade.
Uh-huh.
And he puts it in the guy's pants. He's like, here's a stocking stuffer for you.
Yes.
And then he runs away and he's like, I gotta watch. And he turns around and watches the guy
That's
explode.
when he goes, ho, ho, ho,
Again, I should preface this by saying they tell you that Santa used to be a warrior.
Yes, they
So
do.
like he's just going back to his warriorness.
Right, which I think was also a really good way to make Santa a fighter because like any other Santa you've ever seen is like a gentle, harmless, like I don't know, old man.
I tried to look up if the real Saint Nick was like a Viking warrior. I couldn't find. There's like a million Saint Nicks, first of all.
We're gonna give you
I
props
couldn't
on the
find.
creativity.
Yeah, I
then.
couldn't find any version of Saint Nick that was like a warrior or whatever. But I also like it. I only Googled for like a minute. So
Good.
I
So
didn't do, like, that
we
much
work really
research.
hard on this.
So I'm just assuming that there's some Saint Nicholas out there who was a Viking warrior. I have no idea. And
We
then
don't know.
maybe he became a priest or something. I have no idea.
Or Santa.
He could become a Santa.
It's real Santa.
Well, Saints are priests.
Oh, one of the parts that I thought was also ridiculous that I wanted to start laughing was so they have the hostages, right? And they're like, where's all the money? They're trying to find it. And they like take the dad, the nice dad, the little girl's dad, and they're gonna go torture him. They got the nutcracker.
The nutcracker, and they like break his finger, and then they're gonna use the big nutcracker on his nuts.
Right. So they were going to do that. And then the little girl's like, I'm talking to Santa. And the dad's like, no, tell him you're not. Like, duh.
She tells him Santa's fake.
And then he tells them, the dad says Santa's not real. And the whole room gets silent.
Except for the elf guy who's like, oh.
It was just like, I was like, wow.
And then John Leguizamo was the best line where he's like, we should come back to eat for Easter and let them ruin the Easter bunny for it too.
It was just like, it was like that, like, come on, like that was a powerful scene in this ridiculous movie, but you felt so bad for her because she really believed, I mean, she did talk to Santa.
Like in her defense, she was talking
She's
to real
talking to Santa. But like, it was just so funny.
Yep, Millie's scratching this tree.
Good, proud of her. That like, this was a very powerful scene in this ridiculous
I feel like
movie.
everything we're saying about this movie is making it sound stupid. It's so good.
It's so good.
I want to go. I don't know if I would go pay money in theaters to see it again, but I would definitely watch this again
No,
when it comes out. Like this is gonna be like I can see this movie becoming like a really big cult classic.
yeah.
I don't even think we mentioned like the actor husband who like keeps talking about how he could like beat all these guys up.
Oh my
with
God,
karate
that was
moves,
funny.
and he's trying
Yeah.
to get the mom. Like at one point, the crazy elf guy with a gun is making all of the people open up their gifts, and like the gift that the son-in-law gives is like a pitch for a movie that he wants the mom to finance.
Right. Here's a pitch deck.
The freaking like their kid is like a TikTok influencer who like the whole time is like making videos and stuff.
Yeah, so and that like they made the rich family, half of them suck, and like the sister's family sucks. They just want money.
Or like even the main character's mom, who starts out where you think she's like the only good natured, like nice person in this family. The the son's
Trudy's mom.
Trudy's mom.
Yeah.
And then like you find out she's just like gold digger. She hates the whole family.
What does she mean she's a gold digger? She said, don't take the money. She said, go, leave the family.
I know, but that scene where they're like beating up the or like when the guy's pointing the gun at them.
Yeah.
She's like, kill that one first, kill him first.
Oh, well, she was also
Yeah.
probably stalling for time.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But
Oh,
like, I just
don't-
like the idea that like they framed her as this like awesome, nice person, And then like, but she also sucks.
I don't think
But then
that.
she's good at the end as well.
Yeah, I don't think they. But I mean, it was a funny
Also-
scene though, because they were like, there were three of them, and the guy's like, "All right, now I get to kill you," and they're like, "No, kill that person, kill that person."
Yeah.
Like it was funny, and then they
He's like, kill this bitch. Yeah.
right.
Oh,
So
God.
that I mean, like that was funny.
Also, the only person in the movie who knows how to use a gun, aside from the military people. No one else in the family can use a gun. Santa can't use a gun. She's like,
The
I
mom?
hunted once.
The grandma uses a gun. She
Oh, you're right.
kills
She pulls she kills the whatever.
kills the lead guy.
Okay, how's this for corny though? So Santa, while he's like stitching himself up from being stabbed,
Mm-hmm.
is talking to Trudy about like what she wants for Christmas. There's an amazing scene where he's like bringing up all the past gifts that he gave her and like why he gave her that gift and like I only give kids gifts that they need and like they're like crying and laughing. It's such a good scene. And she says like, "Can you fix my parents' marriage? Like that's what I want for Christmas." And he's like, "No, my magic. I wish I could. Like I can't do that." And then in this movie, towards the end, the parents get back together and have like a loving scene.
Yeah.
And it in any other stupid Christmas movie, I'm like, boo. But it worked so well.
It worked really well, and it was funny, and all the characters.
Trudy got what she wanted.
Trudy got what she wanted. She deserves it all. She's a good girl.
She's on the nice list.
They like talk about, they like curse and they say a-hole, and then Santa's like, you can't say
Oh,
that.
I love that. Yes.
That was a great
She wants to call them
scene.
assholes. Oh, she says shove the coal up their assholes. And
You're not going to believe that?
Oh, I'm on the naughty list.
That's the reason I didn't say it.
Whatever. It's relevant to the movie.
I guess
Now
so.
I'm on the naughty, but Santa's like, you can't say the. You gotta say
Right, and then she's like,
She's
what about butthole?
She's
And he's like, that's borderline.
It's like borderline naughty list. And she's like, anus? He's like, I guess technically
It was just like,
you're allowed to say anus.
Again-
This is how I feel like as a middle school teacher, where I'm like, I guess yes.
right, like, yes,
That
that's
is the scientific
fine.
term for that. I guess you're allowed to say that.
Right. Yeah, and David Harbour just does such a
plays it
good
so well.
job.
I want to be David Harbour when I grow up, I think.
I think I would be okay with that.
Yeah. I think you would want to be David Harbour when you grow up.
No, I want to be
Marry
on
David Harbour?
David.
Okay, so who is sexier for you?
Yeah.
So this is like now I think the second movie. Robert Pattinson Batman or David Harbour Santa Claus?
Santa Claus.
Wow.
It's
I mean, like no
fast.
wonder you married who you married. But
Santa.
like wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Should I
David.
grow my hair up ponytail?
Honestly,
Bangs?
if you could do what he did.
Ponytail and bangs?
Oh, and then what Gino was saying, like, I don't know, an hour ago, about
No,
Santa.
we haven't been recording
No,
that long.
I'm just
Oh.
It's called a joke.
I just love this movie so much I can't do jokes right
No,
now.
you cannot do jokes. I'm here trying to yes and him, and he's like, blah! So Santa is just like covered in blood the entire movie, and like literally the whole movie, he has blood just like on
his beard.
and mustache, and is like heartwarmingly talking to this little girl covered in blood. And I was the only one laughing in the theater because I think I was the only one that thought that this is hilarious.
Well, I was laughing with you, and I'll give you a pass for this one because usually we're in a full theater and Toby's the only one laughing. This one we're in an empty theater and she was the only one laughing.
think
but
that
you're correct. In this.
I'm correct. I got all the really funny parts of this movie, and everybody else sucked because I don't know if they knew how funny it was. I don't think they got it.
That because that's like a visual gag that like it's like a slow burning one. It's like you forget that like there's this horrible violence in this because he's having such a touching moment with a little girl until you realize again he is absolutely covered and caked in blood, and that's when you're like starting to laugh. The only line that I laughed at that was no one else laughed, including you, was when the grandma was.
Oh God.
The son had done something. The grandson had done something stupid, and she's like, "I begged you to beat him when he was a baby."
Yes, Gino would laugh at that line.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like I feel like we're gushing over this, and we've overhyped it. Now you're gonna hate it when you watch it.
If you hate
Audience.
it, you can subscribe to us twice if you hate it.
Yep. Go make a fake account. I just can't. Again, I'm trying to think of a better Christmas movie than this that has come out since Elf. And I think as an adult, probably enjoy this more than Elf. I don't think it's a better movie than Elf. But I think like for me personally, because it's awesome and violent and crazy, I think I personally would watch this over Elf.
I think it's a different. No,
It's a different kind of
If
movie.
you do the 12 Days of Christmas, right? Like, think you're a millennial, right? So you grew up with what was that channel that used to do that stuff?
ABC Family.
Right. You're on ABC Family. You want to make your own 12 Days of Christmas because ABC Family doesn't exist anymore. This is one of the movies where you watch like Rudolph, but first put the kid to bed then you're gonna watch Violent Night. Like, I was thinking, I was like, I want my son to watch this movie, but like when?
Right, like I would rather my kids watch this than Spirited because Spirited has the kid that kills himself and it's also like,
Yeah,
but
like
this movie is so amazingly heartwarming. I'd much rather than watch this.
right, because the little and like it's just like ugh.
And
Yes.
like, but it's horrendously violent, so you like can't.
Oh, right. No, the violence is like
Yeah.
in that scene, right, where he's taking on like 40 of the extraction team. Like he's using his mallet and then he's also finding things in this rich people's garage.
Stabs.
So he's using the candy
Arms
cane that
breaking.
he licks. He's using ice skates, just like
Yeah.
slicing people.
Yeah.
Like,
He's a guy, he like sticks the guy's head to the wall. He like, and then like with the ice skate.
Yeah.
And then his whole body drops, but the head stays in the wall.
right. Like it's definitely not inappropriate.
Not appropriate. I would say though, if
Like maybe like 13
it's
and up.
super R, but there's no nudity. There's like not that much even bad words.
No, there's definitely bad words. Santa curses, which is like
But
I
like
think my
the
favorite.
normal amount of bad words that we're gonna say in front of our children anyway.
Probably when they're
because we're
old
bad
enough,
people,
and
right.
we'll clearly tell them, please don't say this in public.
Don't say the F curse in public.
Right, we're not going to say this in
So
school.
like I don't know if this is. I mean, like from a messaging standpoint, this is a great movie for kids. But from like actually watching this movie standpoint, yeah, no, I don't think you gotta
No.
wait till at least probably 8th grade.
Yeah,
to show this to your
I'd say this is
children.
an 8th grade.
13.
Yeah,
This is a hard 13. Hard. I mean, it is a hard R in terms of violence. But like, if you let your kid play Fortnite, they're shooting people.
right.
Like, you can let them watch this movie.
Ugh, but just yeah, like I think if you are looking for a different type of Christmas movie, if you want that, if you have, listen to me, couples out there, okay? We tried Tech and Trash. We have 2 interests. It didn't work. This movie combines those 2 desires of an action movie and a Christmas movie. So those couples that have that disagreement,
Yeah, because
can
we both
go
like Christmas.
see it.
Yeah, like I guess if you're, I'm sure there's couples out there where like one of them is obsessed with Christmas,
And the other one is obsessed with action.
movies. We kind of just like both. I guess you don't really like action movies.
No, but I was into this because of David Harbour.
Yeah, and because it's funny. Like the violence is so over the top, it's funny.
Right, it's funny. I definitely like laughed out loud
Yeah,
several
like
times.
it's, like the whole scene in the barn is so stupid and violent that you laugh. Like John Wick isn't like that. John Wick is for serious. This is like for funny John Wick.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like I guess if you're one of those couples where like one of them's all bah humbug, I hate
Oh my
Christmas
God,
movies.
one guy's head goes on fire.
Yeah. And he's having a casual conversation with the girl while the guy's he stabs him in the eye
With the light.
electric star from a tree and then plugs it in and kills him. And is just casually talking
Goes on up
while his head is on fire on the floor.
It's hilarious.
Oh my God. I need to go watch it again. I cannot wait till this goes on streaming.
Right? Me either.
I think most of the movies we review, even the ones that we like and that we gush over, we will probably never watch again. Right? Like I think what movies, like I really like Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm probably not gonna ever watch it again. Maybe once when it comes on Disney Plus.
It was like sad though.
And like Spirited
watched-
never again.
No, but like we'll
Guardians
probably watch
Christmas
Thor
Carol
4.
maybe. Thor 4 probably. Although
I'm
I
just
haven't
trying to
yet.
think of like what we gushed about most recently, and I think Thor 4 was like, I mean, like Wakanda Forever, sure, but I think like the funny comedy, like Thor 4, we gushed over. We'll probably watch that again. I
But
watched
this I will
Ragnarok all the
definitely
time.
watch again next year. I really like it. And like this is the kind of movie that I want to go show people because no one else is watching it.
Yeah,
Like who cares if you like everyone's watching Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you gotta go see it.
right. And Twitter,
Don't
guys,
give Disney more money.
Twitter loved it. Like everybody that I didn't see one bad review when I was going through Twitter. It was so. It's just good. Go see it. I don't know.
Love it. I love Toby. I think is the only person who uses Twitter consistently and hasn't commented at all about like what Elon Musk has done to Twitter.
I haven't
Like Twitter is on fire, and Toby's just like, all my favorite podcasts are tweeting about my favorite movie.
I like don't know what I'm looking for. Like, what is he doing? I know he's not doing great things, and I know like a lot.
He's got rid of
people
like content moderation and like fired a bunch of people.
I guess, but because
that doesn't come into your sphere of Twitterness.
No,
I just think it's really funny because you're the only person I know who uses Twitter regularly.
I just use Twitter to like find out what other people think about things,
Yeah.
and so like I don't like see I don't know the politics of it.
Yeah, it's like you're in like a mansion, and like your side of the mansion is totally fine, but the rest of the mansion's on fire.
Right. So maybe I should, I don't know, dive deeper. I keep seeing
Maybe
people
what
like,
you guys should do is follow us on Twitter because we're in the nice part of Twitter, I guess.
yeah, our Twitter is nice.
It's so nice. FBOW podcast. So yeah, I this is the kind of movie like I cannot wait to go to work on Monday and like tell my coworkers to go see this movie. Like go see this movie. It's not made by Disney. I mean, like God, Jesus Christ. I mean, like how many movies have we seen that are either made by like Disney or Warner Brothers?
It's true.
Go watch this movie. I mean,
Oh.
like Universal, I guess, needs some money. Go watch the movie.
Actually, go watch the movie, and then we're gonna stop. But I just want to say one thing because Gino and I'm gonna bring it to everybody anyway.
What?
Okay, so what do you want us to review? Okay,
Violent Night again?
no, even
I
though
think we got
we
like
will.
one or two more Christmas movies we got to do before the end of Christmas. If we're doing like a Christmas month,
I guess so. We can do like, I guess it'd have to be old movies though.
I do want to watch that new Santa Claus movie because I know I'm going to hate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's all about the war on Christmas and stuff, and like, oh boy,
Okay, so we'll do that.
I love to watch that.
new Tim Allen Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna
Hate
do a
watch it.
Christmas story. What was it?
Oh, maybe we'll do like a hate watch, and we'll do both of them.
Yeah.
We don't. You don't have to watch it with me, but I also think I'm going to hate a Christmas story because I love A Christmas Story.
I mean, we should watch it together though.
yeah. So the next episode, since we loved this movie so much, it might be like a hate-filled
Right.
jamboree.
Of just like Tim
of,
Allen.
like movies we think we're gonna hate.
Maybe. And then like in the future, I don't know, let it like leave a comment on our video about what you want us to watch next. After these Christmas movies, of course. Because like we want to hear from you. We want to know what do you want us to do like a TV series? Do you want us to do a movie? Do you want us to do an old movie that you're like, I love this, but I want to hear what you guys think. I don't know. Talk to us. We're friendly.
Yay! DM us. DM her.
Me, because I'm on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
Don't talk to me on TikTok. Everyone's mean on
Everyone's
TikTok.
mean on TikTok.
Well, that's it. Thank you for listening to For Better or Worse. If you like what you heard and you want to know more, visit our website, www.buzzsprout. Sorry.
Yep.
Website at forbetterorworse.buzzsprout.com. And subscribe to our podcast, Apple Podcasts. Spotify is a good source as well for all you people that pay for Spotify.
No one pays for Spotify.
A lot of people pay for Spotify.
No, they do the free version with advertisements.
LOL. You would never.
Oh, I would never.
You
But
pay for Apple.
everyone else I know who uses Spotify, I don't think they pay for it.
All right. Well, subscribe to us there.
You freeloaders.
So you never miss an episode. Like and subscribe to our YouTube. Please give us 100 followers, subscribers, whatever they're called.
We're going for Mr. Beast. We're trying to beat him.
Which I don't get.
He's the #1 YouTuber.
Bah. Mr. Beast. Bah.
I don't like his videos personally, but he's fine.
Okay, watch our video. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.